What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Monday. It is June 10th. We are back with another video. 7 total games, 6 that we can actually play. That's not a showdown unless you're playing the all-day slate on Fanduel. So we're going to cover it all. We're going to look at them. If you have questions, let us know down below. If you want to email us, you can email us, dfshelp1@gmail.com. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I believe you're going to be in for a treat. We do things a little bit differently here, and let me explain really quickly. Now, probably you can already see the link to the video a little bit longer than what you're used to. Some people like just to get to the nuts and bolts and that's it. Some people like the entire blueprint. What we do here is we go through the blueprint of the day every single day. If you want to see, out of everything we talk about, the handful of plays at each position, click the link down below, which will be the article you see on the screen right here. That is in the description of the video. You can check that out. That helps the channel out by going and driving traffic to our website, which is FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. If you want everything, we try to go through everything in this video. We also have giveaways every single day. 2 giveaways every single video. You could win every single day if you come back. So what I'll say, you got to be a subscriber. I would hit that bell notification so you can get your comment in here early. How do you win, you might be thinking? First way to win: like the video, be a YouTube subscriber, and leave a comment on the video. Hopefully it's a positive comment, but any comment will work for the YouTube comment picker. But if this video gets at least 50 likes, you've left a comment and you are a subscriber, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. It's a $10 value. You get a week of MLB, you get next weekend's race, so you get a week of NASCAR, a week of PGA, a week of MMA. You get that if we get 50 likes on this video. And I know we can do it super easy. If we get 100 likes on the video, same thing, you have a chance to win a $30 free monthly pass. If this video gets at least 150 likes, you have a chance to win a $200 lifetime or a $200 yearly pass. And if this video gets 200 or more likes, you have a chance to win a $500 lifetime pass. The other way to win, somewhere in this video there will be a keyword. I will say the keyword and type it into the comment section and hit enter. Super easy, super simple, super free to do. Another way to win, we're trying to get to 10,000 YouTube subscribers before the 4th of July. We need less than 700. I know we can do it. So if we get to that point, we will give away one $500 lifetime pass. And also, if you go follow us on Twitter @advisors_team, we're trying to get to 10,000 followers over there. Once we hit the 10,000 mark there, we will also give away a lifetime pass as well. So that being said, there are multiple ways to support the channel. The biggest and easiest ones, just subscribe to the channel. Clicking on the ads, they're annoying, but they help us out immensely. Somewhere below, we should have some merch if you want to check that out. It's baseball season. We've got our logo on some stuff. Go check it out if you've got questions. Any little bit helps. Signing up for FTA+, we've had people send us tips and donations. If you are about that, if you win a lot of money using our advice and you want to tip us, I'll let you know how. Email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up in that direction. So that being said, like I said, we have 6 games we can play on like an all-day slate, or the main slate. And it does start about 40 minutes later than 35 minutes later than normal. So let's just check it out. Let's take a look at the 2 winners from yesterday. So because the making of this video, yesterday's video got, let's see, Sunday's video got 94 likes. Someone will, if we're 6 away by the making of this video, 6 away from getting a monthly pass, someone will win a weekly pass right now. So we're gonna roll the first one. Even if it has the keyword from yesterday, it's still gonna be just for the weekly pass. And the winner is Richie Smalls. Now, the comment was Razor, but this one is just for getting the 50 likes. Now we're gonna re-roll it, and Richie could win again. So that's why I'm telling you, get in there and get your comments in the comment section, because you have double chance to win the more you comment. So the winner of using the keyword is Mr. Joe Noob. Thanks for the info. Now off to use my new razor. Congratulations to both of you. If you see this, like it and email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and let me know what your username is on the website. I believe both of you have usernames on the website already. You're already members, so we'll just add a week to your account. So just let me know that. So it's that simple, guys. Come back tomorrow, the next day, they could win again. You could win as well. So the only way to have a chance to win, be a subscriber and leave a comment on our videos. So that being said, we are going to go through the slate. If you're new to the channel, during the video, we have simulations running in the background. And towards the end of the video, we're going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. We're also going to go over and give you the top bats out of everyone that has a 10 rating. So 10 out of 10 matchup rating for the day. Also, check out our Discord if you have not. The link is in the description. So the first game that we can't play on the main slate is the Orioles at the Rays. It's Corbin Burnes versus Ryan Pepiot. I'm obviously all in on Burnes. I'm all in on the Orioles bats. Really depends on what bats we're going to get. I do not trust Pepiot. I do not trust Tampa Bay. So I'm looking at Burnes here. And then I'm definitely looking at the Orioles bats. And we don't, I mean, it's really any of the Orioles bats. We got to wait for the lineup to come out, but pretty much everyone in this lineup is good to go in my book. So then we jump into the main slate. The first game, the Rockies at the Twins, Dakota Hudson versus Chris Paddack. So we look at this. Overall, it doesn't look like any weather concerns. Dakota Hudson is the lowest priced guy on the slate, 5.25 ERA coming in. Bad game against Cincy. Actually did pretty well against the Dodgers somehow. Not good against Philly or San Francisco. Middle of the road with San Diego. Has not faced Minnesota this year. On the road, he's got a 3.41 ERA, which makes sense because Colorado pitchers at home generally 9 times out of 10 are going to have higher ERAs. So Dakota Hudson for a tournament pick, I'm okay with. I don't love. I doubt I'll have any exposure to it. But being that price, it allows you to go other places. But I think I'd rather look at the other pitcher too. Chris Paddack coming in, 5.26 ERA. Kind of high ERAs here. Obviously has not faced Colorado this year. Pitching on the road or at home, 3.26 ERA compared to on the road of an 8.20 ERA. So he has been better at home. Couple of, like, it's been a minute since he's had good games. Did not have good games against the Yankees, the Royals, or the Rangers. Pretty good game against Cleveland, and then not a good game against the Yankees there. So really depends. He's had some good games. Colorado overall, outside of a couple of batters, they're not that good offensively. Paddack for tournaments, I'm okay with. Bats wise, so what bats are we going to look at in this game that makes sense? Colorado bats, really the only ones I'd even consider if we're not going with Paddack. McMahon, Montero, Brenton Doyle. That's basically it. A lot of nobody else is on this team. And then the Twins bats. Kirilloff a little bit. You could look at Carlos Correa. We got to take advantage of Byron Buxton while he's still healthy. Royce Lewis, I don't mind. Kyle Farmer would be a cheap option too if he gets in there. There's just other games that I'm probably going to target, especially on a smaller slate like this, that I'm okay with skipping this one, but it's definitely something that that I wanted to kind of just talk about. Couple of Colorado bats you could look at, but a little bit of Paddack I'm okay with, and then some Minnesota bats. Then we got the Yankees at the Royals. It is not listed, but it's Carlos Rodon. He follows Luis Gil, so it should be Carlos Rodon, and I looked that up on my own, and DraftKings even has that. Versus Seth Lugo, it is a pitcher's park. The Yankees are trying to get back on the right track after the Dodgers overall in the series, especially on Saturday when they just absolutely crushed them. I was supposed to go to this series. My wife is pregnant and we can't travel. So, you know, and I can't even watch this. This is what sucks. I can't watch this series on MLB.TV. I can, you know, Broken Fire Stick, stuff like that, Stream East or whatever, but I can't like use my MLB.TV app to watch this because it's the stupid blackouts. So Seth Lugo, 68 plate appearances, 271. If you dig in just to see BVP wise, some people like BVP, some people don't. We look at this. Obviously, Juan Soto's got good numbers here, but he's probably going to be out again. Not put on the IL yet, but there's a chance he'll be put on the IL. And this team, honestly, without him in that lineup, they look completely different. They're going to have to do some changes. Rizzo, to be honest with you, if I'm taking batters, I'm taking Judge, who's absolutely on fire. Stanton, when he's hitting, he's on fire. He's hit some home runs in this ballpark. He's had success a little bit here. DJ LeMahieu is 5 for 11, but he has not looked good since coming off the IL. Glaber's been heating up hitting, but fielding wise, he's still lots of errors coming from it. Unbelievable errors. I would use Verdugo. Basically, the only bats for the Yankees that I would not be using would be Rizzo, probably Trent Grisham if he's in there. Maybe not even DJ LeMahieu. It really depends. So we'll have to wait to see. Obviously, with Juan Soto in the lineup, it's a completely different game. But I'm using everyone in that lineup outside of Rizzo and Trent Grisham. And I'm on the fence for DJ LeMahieu right now. But I am on Carlos Rodon. Love what he brings to the table. Splits-wise, 284, as we know. Away games, he does have a worse ERA, but this is a pitcher's park. As of now, the wind is blowing in. Coming off a great start against Minnesota, 6 innings there, 9 Ks, got the dub. He's had wins in 7 straight games. He's just been on fire lately. He is the pitcher that they paid him last year for. Great matchup. The problem is Kansas City does hit lefties well. So if you think Rodon's not going to have a good game, Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez has really good numbers against Rodon. You could look at Michael Garcia. You could look at Vinny Pasquantino, MJ Melendez. I will be on Rodon train, but there are certain players, if you're going to make multiple lineups and you're not using Rodon, definitely Salvi's got to be in there. Bobby Witt Jr. have to be in those Kansas City stacks. I don't think there's a way to avoid it. They're very expensive, but they bring a lot to the table here. Next game is the Blue Jays at the Brewers. You got Jose Barrios versus Colin Ray. Barrios, 50 plate appearances, 174 batting average against him. You got Colin Ray, 11 plate appearances, 100 batting average. So not a ton, but you will save a little bit of money if you go with Barrios instead of Rodon. 280 ERA coming from him, 60 strikeouts. Has not faced Milwaukee this year. Pitching on the road, he is a little bit worse on the road, though. 376 ERA in 7 starts compared to 182 in 6 starts at home. Giving up over double the earned runs on the road, 3 more walks, 5 more home runs. So it is, tournament only maybe, because again, Milwaukee did not look the best against Tariq Skubal, where I'll tell you right now, in yesterday's video, I said I was fading Tariq Skubal, and I did. And all he did was have a fantastic game. Trying to see real quick what he did. Let's see. 6.2 innings, 10 strikeouts. Now, that is where I'll tell you we're a little bit different than other DFS providers. I go through everything. I will admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong about Skubal. Historically, this year, the Brewers have been able to hit lefties well. Not the case on Sunday. So, there you go. I'm wrong. I'm not trying to hide it. I'm not going to be right every single time. But I'm going to be honest with you as much as I possibly can on here. So I will have some exposure to Barrios, but maybe the Brewers decide, hey, we want to hit a little bit better than we did. And that is where we kind of will see what team we're going to get, how they hit against lefties. If you are looking at bats, so we'll look at Colin Ray real quick. So he's down here at 6,200. Splits-wise, has not faced Toronto. Pitching at home, he's got a 3.07 ERA, so a little bit better. Game logs, pretty decent against Chicago. Middle of the road against Boston. Houston did not do well. He had a good game against Tampa Bay. It's been very up and down for him. I'm probably looking at bats more than I am pitching in this game. Toronto side, I would look at Vladdy. I would look at Davis Schneider. I would look at Danny Jansen, George Springer. If you want to get, cheaper Spencer Horowitz, you could look at Alejandro Kirk would be a tournament option along with Daniel Vogelbach, but I highly doubt we use much of them. If you are looking at Brewers bats against Barrios, which I don't know if I will, maybe I make 20 lineups. One of them is a Brewer stack to cover my basis. Again, William Contreras. I would look at Jake Bauers a little bit. I would look at Christian Yelich. I would look at Willy Adames, Joey Ortiz, Sal Frelick, you could look at a little bit. But to be honest with you, let's wait to see the simulations. If there are a ton of simulations that make sense and they are showing Blue Jays above all or Milwaukee above all, we'll go through that and talk about that. Then we'll look at it's not completely done yet, but then we'll look at all the batters that have a 10+ matchup there, and we'll see if any of them are in this game. I'm guessing not, but again, I could be wrong. Then you got the Athletics at the Padres. So following the trend, it should be Joey Estes versus Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease has a fantastic matchup here. He's got great numbers against them. He's the most expensive pitcher on the slate, 10,300, 351 ERA. Home games, he actually has been worse in 3 less games, a 435 ERA. Game logs, for his price, he has not hit value in a couple of starts. That's the problem. Has not faced Oakland this year, but he has not been sharp. But I am going to go back to the well with him today against Oakland. I wish this game were in Oakland, but San Diego, that's still, Petco is still a pitcher's park. Not as a great a pitcher's park as Oakland Coliseum, but it'll do. So I will have some Dylan Cease here. And then we've got Joey Estes here at 6,800. We did use him in his last start. He did dominate Seattle. We used him against Seattle, and I'll preach this every single day. Seattle strikes out a ton. Only 5 strikeouts in that game for him, but only 1 hit allowed. 27.7 fantasy points at 6,400. You got to take that a little bit here. So San Diego has been, they've been pitched well against with pitchers less than him. Tournament-wise, Joey Estes is a tournament pick. He is not a cash option at all. But I will take a little bit of him. Probably 1-2 lineups. SP2 makes a little bit of sense as well. Because, again, San Diego can hit. Now, I don't know if Machado is still out. Okay, so that's his 4th game. He could be out. That's obviously a huge bat out of this lineup if he's not in. I'm not really looking at A's bats. If you want to go contrarian with an A stack, because Dylan Cease is the highest priced pitcher, probably going to be the most expensive or the most owned. Shea Langoliers, Brent Rooker, Miguel Andujar, Seth Brown. These are the ones I would look at. I'm probably not going in that direction. San Diego bats, obviously Tatis has got to bring up, hold his own with Machado being out. I would look at him against Estes. I would look at Profar. I would look at Cronenworth. I would look at Jackson Merrill, and I would look at Luis Ariz. If I'm looking at a full stack, those are the guys you're looking at. In my mind, I'm going Dylan Cease, and then a little bit, and for cash or tournaments, I don't care, and then some San Diego bats. But Joey Estes for tournaments, I understand you go in that direction as well. White Sox at the Mariners is next. We got Eric Fettiwap versus Logan Gilbert. Now, Gilbert did just lose the game to Oakland his last start, but he had if you look at his numbers here, Gilbert's 9,800, 312 ERA, has not faced the White Sox, but the White Sox are a very bad team this year. Pitching at home, he's got a 303 ERA, had 20.8 in that game against Oakland. Went 7 innings, 2 runs, only 1 of them earned, lost 2-1. Just had no run support whatsoever against Oakland. Hopefully that doesn't have the same effect here, because the White Sox are very bad. Again though, like I said, Seattle does strike out a ton this year. But looking at this, 9,800, if you want to save 500 and you want to step down from Cease, I think Gilbert's good. Or if you want to save 1,500, go down to Rodon. I'm very okay with that as well. Now we look at Eric Fetty. 7,800, 327 ERA, has not faced the Mariners this year, but as discussed, the Mariners, they strike out a ton. So Fetty could be under-owned. Good start against the Cubs, really good start against Baltimore that nobody was on. Milwaukee was so-so, and then some bad games, but a huge game against Washington. And we did use him against Washington. I do remember that. May 14th, we used him 4-0, 7 Ks, 30 fantasy points at 8,500. He's now dropped down. I will have some exposure to Eric Fetty. Not a ton, but some exposure. And the key word today is cell phone. Cell phone is the key word. So Eric Fetty is one that I'll look at for tournaments, and then Gilbert is cash for me. Let's look at the bats, though. The bats are really what's going to be key in this one. Not the biggest and best slate for a Monday, but there's some good matchups here. If we're looking at any White Sox bats against Gilbert, Luis Robert Jr., Andrew Vaughn, Corey Julks, Paul DeYoung, that's basically it. I don't trust very many on this White Sox team. And then if you don't think Eric Fetty's going to have a good game, you got to get some Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, in there. Julio Rodriguez a little bit. They did just put Ty France on the IL, but I would probably not use him against a righty. I would look at Dylan Moore for sure. J.P. Crawford, I believe, led the game off with a home run yesterday on Sunday, so I would definitely look at those. I do not mind a Seattle stack here. We used them Thursday? Did we use a Seattle stack on Thursday? Whenever they put up 7 runs in the first inning, and we dominated that day. I think it was Thursday. It was either Wednesday, Thursday, or... yeah, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I'm not saying they're going to be the top stack on the day, but I absolutely love the Mariners offense here in this game. So I will have a lot of exposure to Logan Gilbert, and I will have a lot of exposure to the Mariners bats today. Then the final game on the slate, you got the Houston Astros versus the Giants. Just like in yesterday's video, I said I knew Keaton Wynn's family. They live right down the road, but I was stacking against him, and it worked out. He gave up, I think he gave up 7 earned runs there. This is a pitcher's ballpark. I'm kind of looking at the Astros and Spencer Arrighetti here. Now, Arrighetti started off the season very bad. He's day-to-day. Pitch Tuesday, expects to make his first start. So here's my problem. He's day-to-day with a calf strain or bruise or whatever we're going to call it. If he does start the game and then he leaves early, that sucks. So be cautious with this because he does have a 5.79 ERA. Did not have the best start here against St. Louis. I think did he leave? Yeah, he only pitched 3 innings because of his calf. But other than that, he went 6 innings against Seattle with 8 strikeouts. 7 strikeouts against Oakland, 6 against Milwaukee, 5 against Oakland. Now he goes up against San Francisco in San Francisco. I like this because this is a massive ballpark. This ballpark is huge. It is a pitcher's park. You love it when you have games here. Not a ton of home runs, but you look at this. Arrighetti on the road, he does have a 7.54 ERA though. So I will have some exposure to Arrighetti. Then you've got Kyle Harrison. 4.18 ERA, has not faced Houston this year. Overall, he has never faced them before. They do hit lefties kind of good though. Pretty well normally. Kyle Harrison's really not done much since basically May 7th, so over a month. He's had just some down starts. 6 innings. He's going 5, basically 5. Has not had a win since May 18th versus Colorado. I am probably looking more towards the Astros bats than I would anything else. Yordan Alvarez, even though it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, smashes lefties. Yonder Diaz hasn't been hitting a ton of home runs this year, but generally hits lefties well. Kind of the same thing with Pena, Bregman if he's healthy, Altuve. Like these are the guys I would look at. I would be looking at an Astro stack. And then if you think Arrighetti's going to come in and not have a good game because he does have a 5+ ERA, he's had some bad starts, and you want to go against the grain and go with the Giant stack, Matt Chapman I don't mind. Patrick Bailey I do not mind. Elliot Ramos has been on fire. Elliot Ramos, if you look at him, Elliot Ramos batting .327, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs. Home games batting .310 at home with 2 home runs. Like I said, there's not a ton of home runs. 3 doubles there. Game logs, huge. Like this is what I would be looking at. Elliot Ramos is what I would be looking at to anchor this stack here. So Elliot Ramos would be my number 1. Patrick Bailey would be 2. You could look at Mike Yastrzemski, Conforto, Casey Schmidt, Patrick Bailey. Like, if you want to go contrarian, I think a San Francisco stack might go under owned today. And we got to take advantage of ownership percentages when we can. And if you go check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, under the MLB tab, we have projections, we have simulations, Vegas, batter splits, top BVP, stolen base targets, our cheat sheet. Now, on our cheat sheet, we have cash plays, usually about 6 to 7 at each position. And then outfield's usually about 14. And these are all cash. We have the same thing for tournaments. 6 to 7 each position, 14 there. So we have a pretty damn good player pool to pick from, especially on slates like this. We have stacks on there. We also have ownership percentages broken down by Fanduel and DraftKings. So definitely go check that out. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. Hopefully we've got it all for you. Be on the lookout. We've got PGA stuff. I'll have another video. The other one, hopefully I can get it out a little bit earlier than the day before because you guys seem to like it. Tuesday, we have an all-day doctor's appointments for the baby, so I'm going to try to get everything done in the morning. I don't know if I'll be able to answer questions on Discord like I normally do because we'll be traveling. I don't know how the reception is going to be while we're traveling, and basically coming home will be right around lineup lock. So if I can get my wife to drive home, maybe I can answer some questions, but I cannot guarantee it. So that being said, the simulations are done running. Let's take a look. Let's see. Real quick. Okay, so number one, and these will change by the time we get to probably noon, 1 towards, once lineups start coming out, these will update and change. So these are the initial ones. These are 10,000. We're going to have 20,000 by about 2 hours before first pitch. So these will change a little bit. But number one, Salvador Perez against Rodon. Like I said, it's got great numbers. 2 home runs, batting .450 against him. Number 2 actually has DJ LeMahieu. Again, I don't know if I'll be on him, but he's there. 3 is Willy Adames. 4 is Josh Rojas. 5 is Giancarlo Stanton. 6 is Kyle Farmer. 7, Elias Diaz. 8, J.D. Davis. 9, Jake Bowers. 10, Alan Trejo. 11 is Richie Palacios. 12, Mitch Haniger. 13, Alex Verdugo. 14, Nelson Velasquez. 15, Zach Gelof. 16, Manny Margot. 17, Carlos Santana. 18, J.P. Crawford. 19, Ryan McMahon. And number 20 is Rhys Hoskins. And there's not a ton of 10 out of 10 matchups right now. I will let you know that. Salvador Perez against Rodon is number 1. They do have number 2, Juan Soto against Lugo. I don't know if he'll be in there. We're waiting on news. Number 3, Willy Adames. 4, Aaron Judge. 5, Giancarlo Stanton. 6, Byron Buxton. 7, Kyle Farmer. And 8 is Elias Diaz against Chris Paddock. So these will change. Initial ones, I get that. It's going to be a little bit different. So that's what we've got. Hopefully it's a good representation. If you're new to the channel, this isn't like the end all be all. We have if this video is all you need to be a better DFS player, that's what we're trying to do. But if you need a little bit more boost, you need a little bit more help, we've got our Discord, which you can find in the description. We also have the website. FTA Plus has a ton of information, like I said, under the MLB. We've got as much as we can. We've got lineups to start your research with, not just copy paste and that's it, but a good starting focal point for you. So that's what I've got in this video. Come back for Tuesday. It's going to be chock full with more games, more coverage, more analysis. Hopefully you have a great Monday. Good luck on this slate. And as always, let's bring up some bacon. Peace.